China has deployed more than 100 advanced long-range rocket launchers to its high-altitude borders with India, according to a source close to the Chinese military, as the two sides remain deadlocked over their protracted boundary disputes. The source said the People's Liberation Army was ramping up defenses in preparation for the Himalayan winter, and in response to the Indian Army's deployment of 3 regiments with M777 ultralight howitzers along the contested line of actual control, LAC, with China. The PLA has deployed more than 100 PCL-181 light, truck-mounted howitzers along borders with India. The firing range of this Chinese-developed launcher is double that of the M777, the source said. China faces increasingly serious challenges at its land and sea borders on almost every side and must urgently reinforce its defenses in these regions, according to a Chinese military researcher. Both China and India have stepped up military buildups in recent months amid their 17-month standoff at disputed borders, and New Delhi appears to have moved closer to Washington, taking a tougher stance against Beijing, especially in relation to border disputes. Recent standoffs, including the deadly conflict in Galwan River Valley, showed that the task of defending the Sino-Indian land border is more prominent than in other areas, the report said. India and China are redirecting a battery of weapon systems to their contested borders to ramp up firepower as the two nuclear powers prepare for a second hostile winter after talks ended up in stalemate. China has deployed more than 100 advanced long-range rocket launchers to its high-altitude borders with India, according to a source close to the Chinese military, as the two sides remain deadlocked over their protracted boundary disputes. He said the People's Liberation Army was ramping up defenses in preparation for the Himalayan winter and in response to the Indian Army's deployment of 3 regiments with M777 ultralight howitzers along the contested line of actual control, LAC, with China. The PLA has deployed more than 100 PCL-181 light truck-mounted howitzers along borders with India. The firing range of this Chinese-developed launcher is double that of the M777. Group Commander Captain Surya Abbasi told reporters that the guns can bring down all unmanned aerial vehicles, unmanned combat aerial vehicles, attack helicopters, and modern aircraft. China, on the other hand, has advanced more than 100 advanced long-range rocket launchers to the disputed high-altitude borders with India, where the two nuclear powers remain in a year-long standoff, a Chinese military source told South China Morning Post on Tuesday. The People's Liberation Army, PLA, has deployed more than 100 PCL-181 light truck-mounted howitzers along borders with India, the army source said, noting that firing range of this Chinese-developed launcher is double that of the M777. The latest development of the border talks reminded the PLA to remain vigilant, even though winter is coming, the news outlet reported a source as saying. The Chinese source revealed that PLA stepped up military build-up mirroring the Indian Army's latest deployment of 3 regiments with M777 ultralight howitzers on its Himalayan border along the LAC. But the source did not confirm whether the PLA deployed the PCL-181 on the Arunachal Pradesh border or at Ladakh. India and China share a loosely demarcated LAC that separates the Indian territory from the Chinese-controlled in 2 key sectors, the eastern, spanning Arunachal Pradesh, and the western, that separates Ladakh from Aksai Chin. While India considers LAC to be 3,488 kilometers long, Beijing believes it only runs for 2,000 kilometers. The latest deployment by the Indian side is on the forward posts of Tawang region in Arunachal Pradesh, India's eastern border, where skirmishes were reported earlier in October. Beijing and New Delhi have once again redirected thousands of troops and weaponry after a brief pullback of forces to prepare for the long haul during hostile winters in the rugged desert mountainous region, where temperatures drop to below 40 degrees. The two nations have been embroiled in border disputes since last year, when the first disagreement erupted over infrastructural issues along the LAC. In June, tensions escalated to deadly border clashes in more than 50 years, when 20 Indian soldiers and reportedly 4 Chinese troops were killed in violent hand-to-hand combat. Since then, a number of sporadic incidents of clashes were reported between the two armies, while their top brass held military commander-level talks to defuse tensions.